You are now tuned in to the 411 for your fantasy football with your host, Autumn Wind Williams.
What's going on, guys? This is your boy, Autumn Wind Williams. You're now tuned in to the 411 for your fantasy football. I'm just kicking back, enjoying this championship weekend. I'm watching the ACC championship right now with Clemson and Virginia. I got into a lot of college football this year for the first time. I used to rarely watch any games, and now it seems like every single weekend I'm glued to the TV just checking out the awesomeness, so I know what guys to look out for next time we have fantasy draft. Yeah, I'm very excited about that, especially knowing that I was incorrect about my standings in the sleeper league. I didn't think I made the playoffs, but I actually made the playoffs for the Dynasty League for a sleeper app. Also in ESPN, #1 still. Hopefully repeating the championship for the second year in a row. NFL.com, I'm not doing that great. I'm hoping to win this week so I can make the playoffs. I believe their playoffs starting next week. So I will know by the end of tomorrow's slate. But yeah, last time I talked to you guys, I was planning on playing my defense against Ryan Fitzpatrick. And I told you guys several times at the beginning of the season what I plan on doing. If I have a gut feeling about a quarterback is not going to do great, or a defense is just going to be unbearable, I'm going to hedge against them too. So I built a lineup on Yahoo last Sunday where I had Ryan Fitzpatrick as my quarterback against the Philadelphia Eagles defense. I also stacked Ryan Fitzpatrick with Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, and I brought it back on the other side too in the game stack. I played Alshon Jeffrey as well as Miles Sanders, and then I stacked the defense Tennessee Titans with Derrick Henry, and as a one-off I put Cooper Kupp as one of my third wide receiver, and I ended up winning $500 in first place in a max entry tournament that Roto Grinders had put out, and where you build 150 lineups, and this was the only lineup that I built that did not suck. And I walked away with first place. So thank you, God, for that gift. My Lord Jesus, I will be contributing my tithes, my 10%, to things that will make you proud of. So yeah, I'm hoping this continues on. Right now, I'm in a little bit of sweat. Like I said, I'm watching the ACC championship, college football. I'm winning some money right now in NBA and college football. And I'm just hoping to continue tomorrow in the NFL. So what I'm going to do for you guys right now is just get right to business and tell you who I got at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense. So starting off at quarterback, I got Ryan Tannehill of the Tennessee Titans going against the Las Vegas Raiders. I know a lot of folks are into playing Ryan Tannehill this week against a bad Las Vegas Raiders secondary, but I think quite a few will tinker off to quarterbacks playing in a dome because, around this time of the season, weather happens, snow, rain, and right now it's raining in the Bay Area. A lot of people are freaking out if they should continue to play Ryan Tannehill because of the weather. However, I'm going to keep him in my main lineup due to the fact I live in the Bay. I'm only 8-9 miles away from the Coliseum, So if it comes down to a game time decision, I can step out of my door and verify whether or not I need to play Ryan Tannehill. I just checked the weather though, and it looks like the rain is going to stop around 11 a.m. West Coast time. Game's at 1 p.m. And I'm sure they're covering the field right now so it doesn't get damaged. But just to let you know though, it is probably 25% chance of rain around 11 o'clock, and it's partly cloudy, 20% at 12 o'clock, and by game time it's 15%. So I'm gonna allow you to make that judgment yourself, whether or not you want to play Ryan Tannehill or Derek Carr, for that matter, tomorrow's game. And I think this Tannehill would be a good pick because, like I said, Traders secondary's horrible. All week long, I've been thinking about how he's going to destroy them on Sunday, and he's been getting multiple touchdowns ever since he became a starter for the Titans in Week 7. And the Traders is the third worst versus quarterbacks this year, allowing an average of 25.8 fantasy points to quarterbacks per game. Moving on to running back, we got an update about Le'Veon Bell, who is sick, got some kind of illness. I don't know if he's another mono dude, like his quarterback. But, Le'Veon Bell's going to be out of the game. So it looks like the cheap chalk at running back is going to be Bilal Powell of the New York Jets. And they're going against Miami Dolphins. So I'm looking at how Miami Dolphins isn't that great, against a running back. So I'm definitely going to consider playing Bilal Powell. I'm going back and forth, though, if I should play Ty Montgomery or not. Because say if a lot of folks are jumping on to Bilal Powell, and then you know how Adam Gase is, he's unpredictable. He can end up having Ty Montgomery be the main ball handler, or Josh Adams. So it's no telling what's going to happen, but I'm going to keep an eye on if I see any reporters, beat writers say anything about if he's going to get a certain percentage of handles. Both of them going to be in the backfield, but we just got to find out who's going to control the higher percentage of rushes or dump off passes from Sam Darnold in tomorrow's game. So moving on to wide receiver. Excuse me, we already finished running back. Wide receiver, I'm going to stack up with my quarterback. I got Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, and wide receiver, I'm going to have A.J. Brown. Now, he's no longer injury designated for this Sunday, and I know a lot of folks are happy about that because they want to pair him with Tannehill if they do decide to play Tannehill. But, he was Q-tagged. I wish he was still Q-tagged up until game time decision, and everybody was freaking out about rain because he would be lower on. But, due to the fact it's a 13-game slate, it's not going to be too much chalk out there, I don't think, because, it's going to be spread out a lot because we're going to have a lot of new players that was only playing year-long fantasy that's no longer in the playoffs. So they're going to be trying to play every single last game on the slate, and, they're not going to try to condense their player pool. And, I always tell you guys, pick what games you really feel fit to be high-scoring and stackable and work from that. Don't try to pick every single lineup because what you're going to do is lose multiple times, way more than you're going to win. And, I understand people try to better their chances at winning with different lineups, but it can also hurt you big time. I learned from that myself, learned from experience. But anyway, as far as with A.J. Brown, I'm just looking at how the Traders' defense is. They allowed 9.6 yards per target and 14 yards total this season against for opposing wide receivers to make. So, it's a lot of catches that these receivers can get against the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, in tomorrow's game. And speaking of them, one of their guys that's going to be a high beneficiary on offense, I have running it back in his game stack, and that's Darren Waller at tight end. They hardly have any receiving options left. And, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to kiss and make up with Antonio Brown after his most recent apology over the internet this morning. Or was it last night? I know I just got the tweet this morning. But anyway, like I said, Darren Waller, he's going to be the main one getting the targets down. Hunter Henry is suffering a rib injury from week 12. Last week he caught 7 of 9 targets for 100 yards against the Chiefs. And he's the fierce leader this season in catches, targets, and yards on their team. And the Titans, they're not that great against the tight end either. If you just look at last week, Jack Doyle caught 6 passes for 73 yards and got a touchdown against their defense. So I feel great about playing Darren Waller against the Tennessee Titans. Moving on to defense, I have the New York Jets. Why do I have the New York Jets? I always pick on the Miami Dolphins, right? And he's getting stacked with my running back, whether it's Bilal Powell or Ty Montgomery. And, I'm just looking at how the Jets defense, they've been putting up positive fantasy points all season. 2 out of, in the past 12 weeks, 2 times their defense got 18 fantasy points. Out of the past 12 weeks, 2 times their defense got 16 fantasy points. So I feel comfortable about playing them as my defense with a chalky running back, whether it's Bilal Powell or Ty Montgomery. I will make that decision by game time. But that's who I have for you guys right now at quarterback. Ryan Tannehill of the Tennessee Titans. Running back, like I said, Bilal Powell or Ty Montgomery. At wide receiver, I have A.J. Brown of the Tennessee Titans. At tight end, I have Darren Waller of the Las Vegas Raiders. In defense, I have the Jets. 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 I always felt like that was hella corny. No offense, Jets fans, but it is kind of corny, though. Yeah, man, I hope you guys go out there and try to win as much as possible. And, I'm just hoping I continue some kind of streak. Winning $500 in first place in a free multi-entry lineup. I feel great about that. Even though they're competitors, shout out to Roto Grinders too. Thanks for that contest, y'all. Well, this is Otto Wynn Williams signing out. And like I always say, man, get out there. See you in the green. And just win, baby. Peace. I'm out.